Today we're talking about how to always get a great haircut. Welcome back to Crystal Beauty TV, where I teach you beauty fundamentals so you can make better beauty care decisions. Even if your hairstylist is incredibly skilled, you might not get exactly what you're looking for. So today I'm going to give you 6 tips on how to communicate with your hairstylist to achieve the best results from your hair appointment. Tip number 1, do your research of what you want before you get to the salon. Every once in a while you'll get somebody in your chair as a stylist and they'll say, do you have any books I can look through to pick a haircut? No, this isn't 1990 anymore. There's this magical thing these days called the internet. Your stylist can always give you recommendations or their opinion, like if you bring in 2 pictures and you're like, I don't know which one's better for me and how much effort I'm willing to put in styling my hair each day and my hair type. Every once in a while you'll get a client who says, I don't know, I trust you, just go with what you think is best. And you're like, okay. But generally have an idea in mind. It helps a lot. You can't say, oh, this isn't really what I was looking for when you didn't have anything you were looking for to begin with. So do your research. Tip number 2 is to take inspiration photos to your hairstylist. If you found it on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, whatever, screenshot it, because I can't tell you how many times they just oh, I had pictures in here, and they spend 5 minutes scrolling through their Pinterest boards trying to find it again. Just screenshot it so you have it in your camera roll and it's recent and you know where it is. And also, if your stylist needs to see it again throughout the appointment, you can just pull it up quickly, not oh yeah, let me find that again, and it's another 5 minutes and it takes forever. I've actually had someone print out a black and white picture of what they were looking for, and it was actually helpful because I could just kind of prop it up on my styling station and keep referring back to it. But again, like I always say, please remember that it's inspiration photos and not exactly what you're going to get, because you don't look like that celebrity or model or whoever in that picture and you don't have the same hair type, most likely. Tip number 3 is to communicate with your hairstylist during the haircut. I'm not saying nitpick and be rude and be like, you need to blend this side more, you need to do this, blah, blah, blah. Let them do their job, but speak nicely. Yeah, maybe I do want some more layering. Maybe I want the layers to go up higher, so they don't get done with a whole haircut and then you're like, let's do more. Let's do a little more. Just tell them. Your hairstylist just wants to make you happy, but we don't know how to do that unless you're communicating with us. We don't know if it's going well or not well if you're just staring at saying nothing. If you feel like maybe they're taking way too much off, or you see them, you ask for a tiny trim, an inch or so, and you're thinking this much, and then they take the scissors and they're grabbing your hair here, you can be like, okay, wait, that's too short. I mean, again, be nice about it, don't be rude, but if you feel like they keep cutting it shorter and shorter, maybe address that concern. It might seem embarrassing, you don't want to tell them how to do their job. Just let them know so you can have a good result. Sometimes in the salon, especially with men's cuts, you'll do the side work and then you'll cut the length on top to where you think they like it, and then you want to ask them okay, is this length good? Because you don't want to spend time perfecting the haircut if they're just going to be okay, shorter and shorter and shorter. So you say, okay, I know I haven't done this bit yet, it's still really thick, we need to blend that afterwards, but just looking at the length on top, how's that looking? And they'll always be yeah, are we gonna blend this part? It's yeah, I just said that. So you say, I'm not gonna blend that part until I know that we have the top looking great. Is that where you want it? The length. Yeah, I think we should take it a bit shorter and definitely blend these sides. Yes, we're going to blend the sides. Okay, time out. In the comments below, let me know your worst haircut experience. Everyone has a hair horror story and I love to hear them and I love to share mine, so go ahead and leave a comment down below. Tip number 4 is to be specific. Sometimes you don't know how to communicate with your hairstylist because we almost have our own little language. We know what we're talking about when we say different terminology, but you might not know that same terminology and how to communicate. But so many people will come in and just say, I just want my hair shorter, or I just want to trim. Shorter and just a trim means different things to pretty much everybody. A lot of people come in and say they want a trim, and what they mean is this much, maybe an inch just to get off the dead ends, when usually they need more, but that's what they come in asking for a trim. And then other people are oh, just enough to make it healthy. So I'm okay, they're just gonna want a little bit. So I'll show them. I was so are you saying to here? And they're no, I was thinking to here. I'm okay, good, I'm glad I didn't just go ahead. So you can show us with your fingers oh, I want it shorter, I'm thinking about right here. Or, hey, I like a number 4 on the side, or a 0 fade, not just shorter and blended. That's not helpful. Tip number 5 to getting a great haircut every time is to ask questions. If you're unsure about a term your stylist is using, ask them to explain. If I ask you if you want face framing or texturizing, you're yeah, sure. but you don't really know what you're agreeing to, like, that's not going to help you get the result that you really want. Don't think you're sounding dumb. Sometimes hairstylists just really forget that not everyone knows the terminology we know. It's not like super advanced stuff, but we use it all the time and other people maybe haven't ever heard it. So if, for example, they say, would you like face framing today? And you're like, I don't know. You'd say, what exactly is face framing? And then your stylist will explain it to you. And this can help you get what you want and avoid getting what you don't want. The sixth and final tip is to be honest. If you just really don't like it or you need something tweaked, if you feel like something's a little off, like uneven, say, does this look even to you? Or I feel like this side's a little bit longer. You can tell us nicely, not like, you forgot to cut this side. Like, just be nice. It brings us absolutely no joy as stylists to have you leaving upset. You're not going to offend us, so if you're trying to spare our feelings and then you go out and you're like, I wouldn't go there, when it's something we could have fixed really easily if you just told us, that sucks. Those are my 6 tips for how to always get a great haircut. If you're looking for a specific kind of haircut or color or style, something like that, go ahead and check out my last video that will tell you how to find a great hairstylist. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful, and click that subscribe button to get more beauty information and product reviews. And as always, let me know what you'd like to know. I'll see you next time.